everybody. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. I hope you don't feel bored. I hope you don't feel exhausted, tired of being home all the time, not going out, not hanging out with the friends and having some fun. Also, I know it's a difficult time that we all go through, but we need to be aware of how difficult it is, how serious it is. We need to stay home these days, and for sure, you can take the advantages of staying home. Maybe you can improve or work on a hobby you already have. Read books that you haven't got time to read, and maybe watch movies if you're interested in movies. We can, do many, beneficial things that can improve our personalities. It's not easy to say that, but we need to be patient. We and of course, if we keep patient, if we do things that we like to do at home, um, this hard, tough, difficult time is going to pass safely, as we all hope. Okay. By the way, the time we are spending at home now, it's called quarantine. Quarantine is to be enforced to stay home for 40 days because of maybe a medical situation, because of war, because of different things. But generally, it's because of medical situation, or a virus or a disease, widespread disease. So the quarantine we have in our houses these days is like maybe we are facing this for the first time because of a disease, because of a virus. But we need to learn. Actually, we can learn a lot of skills, dealing with other people, dealing with chatting and having good time with our family members and friends, and keep it close to each other. Okay, so as I mentioned, last class was about passive active grammar. It was all grammar. I hope it wasn't boring, but we needed to do the exercises here, to do the exercises on page 8, as I think. Yes, it's page 8, unit 1. Something else I want to mention, maybe we are going slower than but we need this time in the first unit. First, you get familiar to the PDF, to the book, to the way we are dealing with the PDF here. It's very important to know how to do it. But later, I'm not gonna go over every single exercise. I'm going to tell you how to do them, and you do them. Okay? I'm going to tell you how you work on the skill. If it's like reading skill, listening skill, writing skill, or speaking skill, and you do it. But firstly, we need to go through this stage by stage, step by step, in order to get familiar, to let you feel comfortable dealing with the PDF. Okay? Good. The second thing I want to mention is somebody asked me if this course is good or equal to IELTS. For sure, it's not equal to IELTS. Okay? You have to know that. But this course is 2-3 steps far from preparing for IELTS or TOEFL. We all know that you need IELTS and TOEFL to go abroad, to maybe for work, to continue their study, and most students need this on their scholarships to continue their study, to be accepted in the foreign universities. But this course is not enough for sure. Okay, this is upper intermediate, and upper intermediate has all the skills that you need, but they are not enough. Okay, in IELTS and TOEFL, you need to learn how to find. Let me talk about the listening skill. Okay, you need to listen and find and be aware and learn how to deal. We have different skills even in listening. So you need to find the answer of the question. You need to find, to remember the main details or the main ideas, and the sub ideas that the lecturer or professor or people are talking about in the listening. Okay, maybe it could be an article, and it has many subjects. It could be a biography. It could be about geography. It could be about biology. It could be about a chat, between two people or two students or two clerks, or and the student or professor, it has different steps and different categories. So here, what I want to say, this book can help us to learn the skill, but it's not enough, okay? Because it's way more difficult to do the arts than to prepare this book. So let's learn the skills and how. Step by step, I will teach you how by listening to the exercise here. Okay, now we are listening to each exercise. Okay, we do the exercise and listen and check our answers. Later, I'm not gonna do this for sure, okay? Because I'm just gonna say the answers, and you practice them, you learn them, and I tell you tips and ideas how to improve it. But I'm not gonna go, I'm not gonna go over each single exercise and each single answer, because you need, okay, to do this by yourself. First, I gave you how, the way, the strategy, but later you need to do this by yourself, okay? But what I'm going to focus on here, not in this page, in the coming page, we have listening exercise. This listening exercise has questions, okay? The questions, we need to read the questions first, and then go to answer, go to listen to the track, and then go back to the questions and answer them. Why the questions first? Actually, this strategy can help you a lot by giving an idea, or giving you a hint, clue, okay, a hint or a clue how what you are going to listen to, okay, about what the topic, or what could it be. So it's very important, it's very crucial, let me say, it's very essential to read the questions and then listen to the track. Maybe the questions, okay, you after reading the questions, you will be able to decide on what to listen. I mean, when you listen, what ideas you want, okay? Could be a date, could be a name, could be a place, could be, something, a task the person is going to do, anything, okay, or he did, or whatever, okay? So this is very important to learn. Also, the reading passages are going, they have, different strategies. So let's go through the strategy and then learn how to do them. I told you a little bit about the listening, and the reading, it has its own strategies. We're going to talk about them when we arrive, or when we get arrive. No, I think get is better. Okay, when we get to the page, or to the exercise. The speaking ones, this is the idea. Like the IELTS or the TOEFL have 4 skills. Okay, reading. It starts with the reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Okay, to learn the 4 skills. Okay, each student has different abilities and different, difficulties and weaknesses. Let me say some students have difficulty in grammar, so the structure is going to be difficult on them. Other students have difficulty in learning or in listening, okay? They can read an answer, they can speak, they can maybe write, a very nice essay, but it's difficult for him to listen and to answer the questions from the listening. And most students, because, have this difficulty in listening. I heard this from my own students. I know that because we're not native, okay, so it's getting tougher to answer the listening questions. So we will focus on listening and how to improve our listening, okay? Second thing, the reading, it has its own strategies. So after you determine your weakness, work on it separately, okay? I mean, if your weakness in listening, okay, that means you need to go through many channels. You need to find a lot of sources to help you. There are millions, let me say, if thousands of ways to help you improve your listening. You try to find your own, the one you feel comfortable with, and apply. Okay. Some of you would say, like, okay, I'm not native. Listening is so difficult. They speak fast. Okay, they speak fast. but this is their own language. If they're learning our language, they would say the same. Okay, if they were learning our language, they would say the same. So what I want you to focus on is, how to do the skill, how to improve it, and apply and practice. Okay, if you don't apply and practice, if you listen like 1,000 times, it's not gonna be beneficial, or it's not gonna be helpful. Okay, unless you determine what you want to do. Okay, so the purpose of the skill, okay, the goal of the skill, when you know how to do it, when you know why you are doing this exercise, you will get more benefits and more skills, and this is going to help you go through your IELTS and TOEFL if you are planning to go through them or to them. Okay, the second thing, the reading. The speaking, as I mentioned, like we're not native, we don't have a partner or a foreigner or a native to speak to or to speak with. This is the idea, but again, I already told you how to practice it. Mirror videos, this is a good thing, and chatting in English, okay, with friends who know the language, okay, who are your level, okay. If you go into courses, you have a lot of groups, okay. Nowadays we have a lot of groups on maybe Facebook, on you can also go on YouTube, okay, but on Facebook we have a lot of groups for students who chat in English or write in English, or learn from each other. This is also helpful. Find a partner, a friend who enjoys speaking English. Don't feel shy to do it, okay, because it's gonna benefit you first, and this is what matters. Okay, what matters is you, and you learn the skill, not if people find it funny or not. Okay, this is like another, as I said, another way to help you improve your speaking. We can go through a lot of tips and ideas. Anytime that I remember something, or something gets to my mind, I will tell you already about this. If the writing skill is a little bit academic, and this is like academic writing is not that easy, but also it's like 1 + 1 = 2. So when you have the steps how to do it, okay, step 1 is blah, step 2 is blah, and you practice for sure, okay, it's gonna be a piece of cake. It's gonna be very fine, okay. After you practice, you will say like, okay, I practice, I write, who's gonna correct? This course is also to help you correct, okay. I'm gonna give you this. You can write something, maybe. We will find a way. I will find a way to help you with this. Maybe you can write something and I can correct it, or I can help you with this. Maybe we can, the steps, okay, that are on YouTube, also on different channels of YouTube, can help you with this. But anyway, I'm ready to help you with your writing, academic writing. But again, I'm going to give you the steps. What you need is to practice, okay? And I even do this with my students. My students, the face-to-face students, in a classroom, of course. By the way, this is my first time online courses, so it's kind of weird, and sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a mirror. I remember when I used to improve my English and work on my speaking. When it was like one way to improve my speaking and my English, talking to a mirror. So why don't you try that if you're interested? Yeah, this is what I wanted to say about the TOEFL IELTS skills we're going to learn. Find your weakness, work on it separately, find the difficulty. You can send it in a comment like, I have difficulty in speaking, I'm following this way, is it correct or not, is it helpful or not? And by the way, you are the one who can determine if it helps or not, or if it works or not, because you can get the benefits. You are the one who this is related to. Okay, let's go back to the PDF. As I mentioned before, we talked about the grammar structure because it's helpful and important, and in Headway they focus a lot on grammar and structure. So every time we have something like this, I'm gonna determine or decide on a full hour for grammar. I'm still waiting for your comments. And thank you for the comments you already sent. I answered them. You know, and as I told you, one of them was about the TOEFL IELTS, you know, courses. Now let's go to the page we already have here. Okay, this chart. We have like sentences. Okay, we have to answer these sentences, the question in the chart. Okay, from the class that we took previously, you know, which was about passive and active. I hope you revised this. I hope you got benefits from this. And guys, don't forget, you always have a notebook with you, okay? Having a notebook with you is very, very important. Why? Because you can write comments. You can, okay, sometimes you don't have internet connection, or you're not, you know, in mood to go into to YouTube. So sometimes having a notebook and writing the notes is very important, especially in something, if something, you know, or you come across something that you don't know or you didn't know about before. Okay, let's go to the chart. The chart is like identifying tenses. Okay, this is like example. I'm gonna, you know, do the chart, all of it, and then we're gonna move to the track down. The chart is like we need to use here to complete the chart. We have two charts. One is active and the second is passive. Please focus on them. What I want you to do here is to use the verb work for the active and make for passive. Okay? Work for active, make for passive in different tenses. In active, we have present, past, future, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. We have it in simple and continuous. Also, the passive, the same tenses, simple, continuous. Okay, let's go to the active one, present. Okay, he works. Past, she worked. Future, they will work. Present perfect, we have worked. Okay, we have worked. Past perfect, I had worked. And the solved one is future perfect, they will have worked, they'll have worked. They'll have worked. I can say they'll have worked. Okay. In continuous situation, we have we are working, I was working, you will be working, she has been working. This is for the present perfect. Past perfect, she had been working. Okay. And for the future perfect, which is solved, he will have been working. He'll have been working. He'll have been working. Okay. Let's go to the passive, and the verb we're going to use is make. Okay. Present, they are made. Past, it was made. Future, they will be made. Present perfect, they will have been made. Present perfect, they have been made. Past perfect, they had been made. And future perfect, they will have been made, which is solved. In the continuous situation, we have it's being made. Okay, it's being made. It has been. So it's being made. It refers to, you know, of course, to the object. Okay, being is for the continuous situation. And also it's being made. Okay, for this is for the, you know, the present continuous. Okay. And also it was being made for the past. Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about, you know, related to the chart here, and I think it's enough. You know, we already spent an hour talking about this. Now let's move to exercise 2, which is like also I'm gonna mention this is track 1.4. Listen to the 2 lines from 8 conversations and discuss what the context might be. Okay, from the picture you can see that we have a salesman and a customer in a clothes shop. The salesman asked politely the customer, "Are you being served, sir?" He said, "Just looking, thank you." Okay, so the salesperson said, "Are you being served, sir?" It's, you know, the same meaning as, "Can I help you? Can I do anything for you?" And the customer already said, like, "Just looking, thank you very much." Okay, let's listen to the track now, and I will stop after each, you know, sentence to tell you if it's like, you know, if I will repeat it in case you find it difficult to listen to it. But please download the audio file and try to listen at home many times, because it's going to be a lot helpful, okay? Let's listen. Ready? Okay.
Tape script 1.4. 1. Are you being served, sir?
Oh, just looking, thank you.
As we said here, like, are you being served, sir? Just looking, thank you. Second.
2.
I've heard that she's been seeing a lot of Patrick recently.
I've heard that she has been seeing, okay? She's been seeing, like, it started in the past till the moment of speaking. And we have the word recently, so she's been seeing Patrick recently, okay? Here I've heard, this is present perfect. She's being seeing, this is present perfect continuous, okay? Second or third.
3.
I'll be seeing Bill this afternoon. I'll tell him the good news then.
I'll be seeing, okay? I'll be seeing Bill this afternoon. Since I have this afternoon, it's like a plan. I will be seeing, okay? We used I will. Generally, we know that will is for spontaneous, decisions of the moment. I haven't planned this before. Yeah, okay, fine. But here we're talking about, I'll be seeing Bill and I'll tell him the news.
4.
Okay, I'll tell him the news or I'll tell him the story, whatever. But, when he sees him, he will, tell him.
Apparently, he was overtaking on a bend at 70 miles per hour when...
Okay, apparently he was overtaking at a bend, okay? First, overtaking when you have two cars, overtaking, trying to be the one, ahead the other. On a bend, the meaning of bend? Bend is when you have a road and there's a bend, okay? So of 70 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour is, okay, when we talk about, when I say 70 miles per hour, okay? That means he was speeding.
They stopped him.
When they stopped him, we have two actions. The second one, interrupted the first one. He was speeding, they stopped him. He was speeding, they stopped him. One interrupted the other. Okay? Now let's move to number 5. After we talked about, he was speeding, and he was speeding when they stopped him.
I haven't seen her since she was a little girl.
I haven't seen her since she was a little girl. I haven't seen her since she was a little girl.
And she'd changed beyond all recognition.
And she'd changed beyond all recognition. Recognition, like she couldn't recognize her. Couldn't, or she wasn't able to know her after like this long time. So she said, I haven't seen her since she was a little girl. And she had changed, okay, she has changed before she saw her, okay? Do you remember when we talked last class about, when we say like two actions in the past, one followed the other? So first, she wasn't, she changed, and second, she saw her, okay? She had changed when she saw her, okay? She has changed when she saw her. So let's move to number 6.
6. Nobody will listen to him.
Nobody will listen to him. Nobody listen to him, okay? Nobody will listen to him.
He's the kind of guy who isn't believed by anyone.
He's the kind of guy who wasn't believed, or who isn't believed by anyone, okay? So here, he's a kind of guy, okay? Kind of guy, of course he means, okay? Who isn't believed by anyone. Isn't believed is a passive sentence. It means nobody believe him, he isn't believed, okay?
7.
I haven't been told yet
I haven't been told yet, okay? To know that we use yet, okay, at the end of the sentence, especially with, present perfect, and also I can use it with simple past. I didn't do my homework yet, okay, I didn't have my lunch yet. So here we can talk about, yet can be used at the end of the sentence to express negative and questions, okay?
I've got it. I'll be told in writing sometime next week.
I will be told sometime next week. I will be told sometime next week, okay? Because I have next time, okay? Next week, or sometime next week. So here we're going to talk about future, okay? I will be told. Passive. Okay? Passive in the future. Passive in the future. So we say, I will be told sometime next week. Okay? And this is also passive sentence. Good? Yeah, next.
8. He's been working such long hours recently.
He's been working such long hours recently. He's been working. He has been working. Okay, such long hours recently. Since I have the word recently, it can indicate the continuous situation. So we say he's been working such long hours recently.
He never sees the children.
He never sees the children. This is a fact. Okay, because he's been working long hours or such long hours recently, he never sees his children or the children. So the second sentence is a fact, simple, present. Okay. Yeah, and that was the track for this exercise. The second exercise is about discussing also grammar. As I told you, now we are going to go over each or every single exercise, every single number here or sentence, but later we're not, we don't have to do this. It's going to be a waste of your time because you will be already familiar to the way you do them. Okay, if you are not, please tell me. So the second exercise here is discussing grammar. Compare the meaning in the pairs of sentences. In this exercise, you will learn how to how to differentiate, okay, between tenses. What tense to use and why? For what reason? Okay, this exercise is going to help you a little bit doing this. The first sentence is you have to use the tense, okay, and to tell me why we used it, and to practice the answers with the partner. Try to make yourself your partner, okay? So the number one, Klaus comes from Berlin, and Klaus is coming from Berlin. Okay, what can you guess about this? Why the first sentence is simple present, and why the second sentence is present continuous? Can you guess? So the first sentence is present simple because this is a fact, okay? Klaus comes from Berlin, so he's from there. So this is a fact. I don't need to make it in continuous or in this is like a general statement. Second one, Klaus is coming from Berlin here because I'm talking about a temporary action. An action that is happening for a short time. Maybe he's on his way from Berlin. He hasn't arrived yet. So we say he's coming from Berlin. He hasn't arrived, or he's not here yet. He's on the way, and this is a continuous situation. It's going to be for short time. Okay. Number two, what were you doing when the accident happened? And what did you do when the accident happened? What can you tell me about this? Why in the beginning, or in the first one, we used past continuous, and in the second one, we used simple past? What's the point of that? By the way, using grammar depends on the meaning you want to deliver, you want to say, you want to, to give. So here, using grammar is not fixed, it depends on the meaning you want to give. Got me? And in number two, what were you doing when the accident happened? Okay, here we have two actions, if you remember. The second one interrupted. So when the accident was, happening, okay, or what were you doing when the accident happened? So first, maybe you were doing something. It started earlier, okay, and then the accident came and happened, okay. So because here, let me say, the accident, interrupted what you were doing, okay? While in the second one, what did you do when the accident happened? Here we are talking about the result, okay? Like, could be I called the police, or I called the ambulance, or I hurried up to help the injured people. So I'm asking about the result. I'm not asking about what were you doing or what did you do? What after the accident happened? Got the idea? So we have two actions happened, after each other, and we can use simple past simply in both of them. Okay? Generally, also, like, when I talked about, the previous sentence, like she has changed a lot, or she had changed a lot when I saw her. By the way, like you can use both of them in simple past, but to be, accurate, you need to tell which one happened before we use the past perfect first and, the simple past. But, using both of them in simple past is not that wrong, okay? But again, just the meaning. When you mention that, when you say the past perfect sentence and the simple past with it, you are trying to tell me which one happened before, or the action that happened before. In number 3, let me check here. Yeah, in number 3, I have lived in Singapore for 5 years. I lived in Singapore for 5 years. You know Singapore? You know, okay, it's the name of place, okay? So I have lived for 5 years. The time is not important. What matters here is the experience that I lived there, okay? I have lived there for 5 years, present perfect. I lived in Singapore for 5 years. That means now I'm not there. Completed action in the past. Finished action in the past. Okay? I'm not gonna explain it more because I will be repeating myself. Number 4, when we arrived, he tidied the flat. When we arrived, he had tidied the flat. Okay? I already mentioned this. In the first one, when we arrived, he tidied the flat. Okay, so we're talking about 2 actions in the past. In the second one, I want to mention that one happened before the other. First, he tidied up the flat, or tidied the flat. Second, we arrived. Okay? In exercise, in number 5, we'll have dinner at 8 o'clock, shall we? This is a suggestion, by the way, okay? When I say shall we, will have, okay? When we use will and these sentences to help talking about suggestions, or plans sometimes. But here it's a suggestion because we use the word shall we, or the, question tag. Don't call at 8 o'clock, we will be having dinner. Don't call at 8 o'clock, we will be having dinner. We started before 8. At 8, the action is going to be in progress, okay? And not finished yet. So don't call at this time because we will be having dinner, we will be eating dinner, okay? Number 6, sorry, I didn't teach English very well. I wasn't taught English very well. Let me ask you a question. Which sentence means I is the student? Yes, of course, it's the second one. I wasn't taught English very well. This is a passive sentence, and I means the student. I didn't teach English very well. This I refers to the teacher. Okay? In the first one, it's active sentence. In the second one, it's a passive sentence. Okay? Let's go to number 7. How much are you paying to have the house painted? And how much are you being paid to have the house to paint the house, sorry, okay? So here in these 2 sentences, in which sentence the owner, I'm talking about the owner, and in which sentence, okay, I'm talking about the painter or the decorator? Let me go to it again. How much are you paying to have the house painted? Yeah, this is the owner of the house, okay? I'm asking the owner. And in the second sentence is how much are you being paid to paint the house? Here I'm talking about the decorator or the painter, okay? Let's move to, of course, in the first sentence, are you paying? This is a present continuous, and this is an active sentence. The second one, how much are you being paid? Also continuous, but in the passive, okay? Let's talk about number 8 now. You are, or you're very kind, thank you. You're being very kind. What do you want? Okay, this is a good one. Okay, do you remember when I talked about, the meaning you want to deliver or to give? In number 8, you're kind, you're very kind. This is a general situation. He, one of his traits, okay, characteristics, okay, one of his characteristics that he's a kind person. So he's kind to everybody. Okay, but in the second sentence, you're being very kind. You're being very kind that normally he's not a kind person, but now he's, he's actively being, kind, or, doing this. on purpose. So he asked him like, what do you want? It's like when I want you to do something for me or a favor. So now we are going to move to exercise 5. As I mentioned, we're going to go through it, okay? In exercise 5, we have to do the exercise, and then we listen and check the conversations here. You have the beginning of the sentence, and you need to continue it, okay? At weekends, I often blah. My parents have never blah. I don't think I'll ever. Here to practice using different tenses. Let's listen to the exercise they already give us, and then as I said, like, we're gonna continue with the second exercise. I'm not gonna go over all of them, okay? Just in the beginning. Ready to listen? Okay. Again, we have to complete the sentences, okay? You need to complete it with a partner. Since you don't have a partner, let's do it by ourselves.
Lunchtime.
Me neither. Why bother if you don't have to?
No.
1.
At weekends, I often don't bother getting up till lunchtime.
I often don't bother like annoy myself, okay? To get, I don't bother getting to lunchtime, okay? Getting up, I mean. So let's try again. Listen.
1.
At weekends, I often don't bother getting up till lunchtime.
Okay. The other person is gonna give his reply to her speech.
Me neither.
Me neither, okay? It's the same for me. Me neither, it's another way of agreement, okay? I don't like pizza. Me neither. Yeah, I don't like pizza. I don't go out on weekends. Me neither. So here, like, I agree, but in the negative situation, in a negatively, okay?
Why bother if you don't have to?
Why bother if you don't have to? I mean, why do I have to get up early on the weekend if I don't have to wake up early? Okay, so you can continue it like this. Let's go to the next one.
2.
My parents have never had a crossword in all their married lives.
My parents have never had a crossword. A crossword means a bad word, a word that comes out of because of anger or being nervous or something like this. Okay, you know it. Okay, so my parents have never had a crossword. Okay, yeah, for sure, in their married life.
Really? Mine are at it all the time.
Really, mine are at. Okay, I want you to focus on this. I'm gonna repeat it. Listen.
Had a crossword in all their married lives.
Really? Mine are at it all the time.
Mine are to be added all the time, okay? Mine are to be added all the time. It means like his parents, are always arguing, are always, shouting or maybe angry or maybe talking, angrily. So here he said mine are to be, okay? So I wanted to focus on, this, to be added, okay? Means like they are doing this all the time, so I wanted to focus on this. Next.
3.
I don't think I'll ever master this remote control.
I don't think I'll ever master like know how to do it, okay? How to, to make it work, okay? So I don't think I'll ever master this remote control.
Well, don't ask me.
Don't ask me. That means like she doesn't either, okay? So she doesn't know how to, or she cannot figure out how to, work or use it.
I can't even find the on-off button.
I can't even find the on-off button. The on-off button, on-off button? On-off, okay? But she said that fast, sorry. So, she cannot find the on-off button.
4.
I was saying to a friend just the other day that I hadn't seen you for ages.
I was saying to a friend the other day that I hadn't seen you for ages. Past perfect. He saw him. And he saw him the other day, and then he told him, like, I hadn't seen you for ages, like a long time.
I know. How long has it been?
I know. How long has it been? How long has it been, like, since last time I saw you?
5.
I hate Mondays because nothing ever goes right on a Monday.
Okay. She said, I hate Mondays because nothing, nothing ever goes right on Monday. So Monday is the beginning of the week after the weekend. Generally, like, we feel lazy. We feel like we're not, ready to start the day. Okay, we're not involved. Okay, we don't feel like we want to go back to work or to university or to study or whatever. So we feel like, okay, she hates Mondays because of that. Listen to the reply.
Just Mondays, eh? Huh.
Just Mondays, eh? Means like to him every day is like this.
Aren't you the lucky one?
Aren't you? Aren't you? He means aren't you? Okay, aren't you the lucky one? The lucky one. Like if you feel like this only on Mondays, okay? To him, he feels like, oh, it's every day like this. 6.
6.
I just arrived home last night when I realised I'd left my briefcase on the bus.
I just arrived home when I realized I had left my suitcase on the bus. Okay, my briefcase, not suitcase, my briefcase. So, before he arrived, he had left his suitcase on the bus, okay? And then he realized, realized, had left, okay?
Well, you won't see that again.
Yeah, you won't see that again. Just a reply to do it.
7.
I was just getting ready to go out this morning when...
I was just getting ready to go out. I was just getting ready to go out this morning. What happened?
My grandmother rang for a chat.
My mom or my grandma rang, okay, the past of ring, rang for a chat. Got it? She was getting ready to go out. The phone rang, interrupted the first one, okay, which is, getting ready.
It's so frustrating.
So frustrating, disappointing, like you feel sad, bad, sad mood.
I know. And you feel really bad if you say it's not a good time.
Also, you feel really bad if you say it's not grandma, it's not the right time. I'm getting ready to go out of the house, okay, or I'm going out. So if if you say that, you don't know what to do here, because to continue the chat is not easy, or it's gonna keep her late from what she's doing or she's about to do. And saying it's not the good time for a grandma, she might not understand this.
8.
I've been told that our teacher wears purple pajamas in bed. Who on earth told you that?
Okay, I was taught, that our teachers, wear pajamas in bed. And then, like he said, like, who on earth, told you that? Who on earth told you is like kind of, like you don't believe, okay? Who on earth? Okay, so you say this expression to say that you don't believe that, you're surprised to hear that, you feel like it's weird, strange, it's not familiar, something could be crazy, something could be like negative and you don't want to believe it. So you say who on earth, okay? Something we use this expression to express these situations.
9.
In my very first English lesson, I was taught to introduce myself and say hello.
In my first, very first means like in lesson number 1. In my very first English class or English lesson course, I was taught, passive, to introduce myself and say hello.
I was taught to say the cat runs after the mouse and stuff like that.
I was taught to say like, the cats run after mouse, okay, and stuff like things like that.
Useful, huh?
He doesn't think so.
10.
The reason I'm learning English is because it's spoken all over the world.
The reason I'm learning English now, okay, I'm learning present continuous. The reason I'm, learning English now is that because it's spoken all over the world, or it's the first, to him, it's the first language.
True, but isn't Chinese spoken by more people?
True, but isn't Chinese spoken by more people? Chinese spoken passive, okay? Isn't it? Chinese spoken must be like, if I'm gonna take it to the affirmative situation, it's like Chinese is spoken by more people, okay? Yeah, And that's it. This is what I wanted to say about this exercise, which is like talking about you. But here we listen to different people speaking with a partner about these situations. It's up to you now to change the situation and imagine the reply from the partner or, from the person you're chatting with. Okay, now let's move to exercise. Also, track 5 here. Listen to lines. Sorry, and conversation. Here we have spoken English missing words. In this exercise, it's also listen and compare. I don't want to listen to this because it's easy to be done. I already told you how to differentiate between formal and informal language. Here we have some dropped missing words, and you need to put them to make the sentence look more formal, okay? Like heard about Jane and John, thought not. So, here heard about. It's a question. So have you heard? Okay? Have you heard about Jane and John? Why cannot I say or can't I say did you? Because heard here in the second form, so I need or in the third form I need have. Have you heard? Okay. In number 2 we have leaving already. What's wrong? Also it's a question. So are you leaving already? What's wrong? Okay. And the third one, failed again. How many times that? Okay. Have you failed again? Okay. Next, sorry I'm late. Been waiting long. Sorry I'm late. Have you been waiting long? This is a present perfect continuous to talk about something started in the past, continued to the moment of speaking. Okay. Next we have doing anything interesting this weekend. Doing anything interesting this weekend means like, are you doing anything interesting this weekend? And here to talk about a plan, guys. Okay, it's to talk about a plan. Because I have this weekend, and I can, as I mentioned before, I can use present continuous to speak about close future plans. Next, which is number 6, like the car. When did you get it? I like the car. When did you get it? Also, like you can say it like this. Bye, Joe. See you later. Okay, it's like I'll see you later. Okay, bye, Joe. I will see you later. This is like the full or formal structure. Next, we have 8. Just coming, hang out. I'm just coming. Okay, hang out. Hang on. Sorry, not hang out. Sorry, hang on. So here we say like just coming. I'm just coming. Okay. What lift? Okay. Want a lift? Okay, sorry, want a lift. This, line is not that clear. Okay, want a lift? Okay, it means do you want a lift? Do you want a lift? Hop in, like just get in the carts to give you a drive or to give you a lift. Seen a Jim lately? Have you? For sure, okay? Lately, so have you seen Jim lately? This is like, the 10 exercises I talked about. I don't have to listen to them because as I mentioned, it's, okay, where is it? Okay, good. So here, like to talk about, different tenses, different forms like passive and active, and how to differentiate between using this and using this. As I mentioned, like, okay, I know we are going, slow, but it's very important to know how to do it. I don't have to go through all of this. I know some of you know how to do it. It's fine. Next class we are going to talk about reading and speaking. So be ready for reading and speaking. Okay. Trying to get this. Okay. I want to move to the second page. Yes, this page. Okay. Here, listening and speaking, things I miss from home. I already told you some notes about listening, that we are going to listen to the question and, listen to the question or read the question, then listen to the track, and then come back to the question and answer them. And this exercise, we have a chart to fill, okay? The chart here about, people speaking about what they are away from home. You remember that the unit is home and away. Here they're talking about, what they miss from home. We're going to listen to this. I hope you follow me next class to listen together and mention the most important details and give you more tips how to improve your listening. And I hope you're not away from your homes and you don't miss anything. Anyway, this is the idea about next class, which is going to be like listening. And also, I'm going to move to reading. This page is about reading. If you notice, check. Okay. The idea in Headway, in reading in Headway, we don't have. Let me say the full track. Okay, so we have parts of the full lecture or of the full paragraph or text. We have parts, listening parts. I'm not gonna let you listen to them all. We listen to them after you read the text, but we have some tips to read. Okay, first we are going to read the questions and then read the dialogue or the paragraph we have here. It's Lost and Found. It's a nice story about an Indian boy. We're gonna listen to this and read about him and what happened to him and answer the questions. Thank you very much for being with me today. Thank you for for your command. Thank you for paying attention. If you have anything to tell me, please do. I'm waiting. Wish you all the best. Wish you lovely time. Wish you peaceful time. Wish you healthy life. Enjoy it and goodbye.